Hey guys, it is time for the next Sum 41 CD review, and this one is Underclass Hero. And to be honest, this was kind of the first one that I really didn't like when it came out. I mean, it was sort of the case with some other bands that I do like and whatever that I tried as best as I could, but I just couldn't get into it as much as I tried. And with this one, I mean, I just listened to it again last night, and it was probably the first time I've listened to this album start to finish since the year it came out, which was 2007, so like in 8 years. And I don't know, like, I feel like I noticed something that I didn't really notice, when I was listening to it a decade ago, and that main thing being that I don't know if it's intentional or not, but he has like the same vocal melody in almost every song. And like I said, I don't know if it's intentional. I mean, he could be going for like I don't know, like a recurring theme. Like people do that all the time, and they'll try to keep like the theme of the album kind of going, whatever. But if it was intentional, I feel like he overdid it, because I'm listening to these songs and I don't know, half of them just feel the same, just with different rhythms, different guitars, and different instruments. Like this one will have an acoustic, this one will have an electric guitar, this one will be like kind of piano-ish or whatever, but he's still singing the same sort of melody, just different lyrics and whatever, and it just kept bugging the shit out of me. And I guess I never really noticed it till recently, but I don't know, I really just feel like I'm listening to the same 13 or 14 or however many songs, over and over again. I feel like it's just the same song. And I don't know, except for maybe that stupid French song, because that song's just pointless, and I don't know. One thing I will say, I feel like the cover of the album kind of says it all. I mean, it just has Derek on the cover, and I mean, granted, I don't really know how much of the songwriting was with the other guys in the earlier albums, but I feel like when this album came out, it was just on his shoulders. I mean, I don't really know. I feel like that was a big problem. He didn't really bounce any ideas off of anybody else. And when you do that, you get a lot of songs that end up sounding the same. And I feel like it's very obvious in this. I mean, granted, there are a couple songs that I don't mind. I mean, Walking Disaster is not bad. Speak of the Devil, I don't like for one reason. I mean, for the most part, the song's okay, but there's like this one note that's played on like a piano or something. It's just like right before each chorus, I think, and it's like a slower part, and it builds up into the chorus. And I swear to God, he's playing a note that's like not in the right key or something. I don't know. It just bugs the shit out of me every single time I hear it. Maybe you guys hear it too. I don't know. I kind of skipped the first song, Underclass Hero. I feel like is just kind of stupid, and I feel like Subject to Change, which was the bonus track on Chuck that I already kind of talked about in the last review, that song was way better, and I liked the guitar in that song a lot better. I liked the lyrics in that song a lot better. And I mean, this whole album overall is really just him trying to go back to, the all killer, no filler roots or whatever. And I get trying to do that, but since Sum 41 started, they were getting heavier and heavier and heavier in each one. I mean, except for maybe from the first to the second one, because I mean, the first one definitely had like some metal influence with like a lot of the guitar riffs and stuff. The second one was kind of, pop punky, and then you get Does This Look Infected, which is definitely heavier, and then you got Chuck, which was like some of the heaviest stuff they'd written yet. And then they go back to this, which is a lot of acoustic stuff and a lot of piano stuff. And that's fine. I mean, I don't mind that stuff on a lot of cases, but I don't know, I feel like it was just a step back, and I feel like a lot of the fans that they had just recently gained kind of didn't know how to feel about it. So, I mean, I'm sure they got a lot of fans because of this album. I actually know that they did, just from all the people that were asking, like the new people asking me to do like covers and stuff at that time. And I don't know, it just didn't really hit home for me, you know. Dear Father, I didn't really care for. Count Your Less Blessings, I really hate the chorus of that song. I just couldn't get into it. Ma Poubelle, like I said, I just feel like it's stupid. March of the Dogs, I think, was the first single, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. That song wasn't bad, you know. I thought that was okay. The Jester, I thought was okay. With Me, I thought was one of the better songs on the album that had the bigger choruses and stuff. I like that one. Pull the Curtain is pretty good. You know, I remember that was one that I liked a lot when it first came out. King of Contradiction, I don't really like. Best of Me, yeah. Confusion and Frustration in Modern Times, I didn't care for that one either. So Long Goodbye, did not like that one. And No Apologies and Look at Me, honestly, I don't even remember them, and I just listened to them last night. So I guess you could say they're pretty forgettable. But I don't know, I can see why people like this album. I can see why like younger kids, especially at the time, liked it. But for the people that were listening to Sum 41 for 5, 6, 7 years or whatever already, I can honestly say that I'm not surprised that a lot of them didn't like it. So, I don't know. I feel like bands need to stop trying to make an album like their old albums. I mean, it never comes off as genuine to me, and it never really works for me. You know, I remember him saying that it was going to sound like All Killer No Filler, and, you know, it was going to be back to like the punk roots or whatever, and it's cool of him to try, but I don't think he really got anywhere close to as good as All Killer No Filler was. So I don't know. If Dave stayed in the band, I really wonder how this album would have turned out, since he was obviously a big metal guy. I don't know. You know, we'll never know, to be honest. And this is an album that I just can honestly say I don't really care for. And I don't know, the only one left, as far as I can remember, is just, what is it called? Screaming Bloody Murder. And I guess we'll get to that one soon. Overall, like production wise on this album, it didn't sound that bad, but it didn't sound that good either. The production for the past couple albums before that I thought were solid. You know, All Killer No Filler sounded awesome production wise. Does This Look Infected sounded great production wise. Chuck sounded pretty good. Granted, I don't know who was doing the production or who was doing the engineering or anything like that. I don't know who it was. I mean, I guess I could have looked it up, but I don't know. I definitely feel like there was a lack of, I don't know, skill in the production department or something. So, or the mixing, the mixing could have been a lot better for sure. So, anyway, that's all I really have to say about it. I mean, it's not an awful album. It's just not what I wanted from Sum 41 at the time, and it's still not really what I want ever from Sum 41. I feel like they could have been a lot better. And like I was saying about the cover, you know, it's just got Derek on the front, and I feel like at that point in their history, it was just all about him. And I don't know, it just felt like the Derek Whibley project at that point. So, I don't know. Next is Screaming Bloody Murder. Be on the lookout for that video, and let me know what you think of this album. Let me know what you think about what I said and whatever. I mean, I know I didn't really talk too much about each song individually. That's just because I don't really care too much about each one. You know, that's pretty much it. But, you know, like I said, there were a couple songs that I thought weren't bad, so it's not a complete terrible album. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble for 10 minutes. I'll talk to you later.